To faculty, staff, administration, friends, and family, good morning, and thank you for being here. And to the Bellarmine class of 2019, congratulations. And to all the people who asked me to mention them in the last couple days, especially you, Jason, no. I feel truly honored and humbled to be given the opportunity to speak to you all today. And while it seems near impossible to explain what these past 4 years has meant to each one of us, I'll try to capture what I think our Bellarmine education has instilled in us. I think it's safe to say that we've learned a lot here at Bellarmine. You know, Mr. Janda taught us how important it is to, check the syllabus. And Mr. Ryerson taught us that even if you're not tall or muscular, all it takes is one hearty fist bump to feel like a real big guy. But a Bellarmine education isn't solely about the academic and the technical skills that we learn inside the classroom. I think this institution is unique in the way that it challenges and develops its students' character. You see, I believe that one of the most far-reaching problems we are facing in our world is a powerful culture of ironic cynicism and unflinching pessimism. I think 2019 is the best time in human history to make jokes. We have Twitter, a seemingly endless supply of Netflix comedy specials, and an internet filled to the brim with spicy, spicy memes. And that seems pretty awesome on face. But when I think about the rolling eyes and the smug smirks of the world that we are about to graduate into, I'm reminded of what David Foster Wallace once said, that irony is the song of the bird that has come to love its cage. To those who believe in nothing, the answer to all the hard questions, what is justice? How should I live my life? Am I making the world a better place? Is simple. Don't worry. Don't care. Bellarmine education instills in its students that that is no way to live. The most important thing that I and so many others have learned here is that great achievement requires believing that there are some things which are valuable, important, and worth caring about. I see tangible evidence of that lesson every day in so many members of the class of 2019. I see it in Ronan McReynolds, getting interviewed by news stations for his passionate activism. I see it in Scott Sinceri. The only thing that brings more joy than his genuine enthusiasm are the delightful therapy dogs he organized during finals. I see it in Gabe Young, whose brilliant Mando Pop performance had the entire student body swaying and waving lights in unison this year. I see it in Rishi Balakrishnan, who against all odds and for no given purpose still continues to argue that table tennis is a real sport. Too many of my fellow Bells embody this message for me to count them all. But I think it's important to recognize those who taught us this lesson, that caring, can be kind of cool. Because we didn't learn that lesson on our own. Each and every teacher at Bellarmine thoroughly espouses the hallmark of Ignatian education, cura personalis, or care for the person. Our teachers understand that by investing themselves into their students, they can cultivate individuals who can care for the world. By believing in us, they help us push for what we believe in. From Dr. Sullivan, somehow having the energy and mental bandwidth to know literally everything about each of her students, to Mrs. Fox, throwing a small ancient Roman-style day party to make sure we were all ready for the Latin AP exam, to Mr. Healy, jokingly, or maybe not so jokingly, roasting us, mercilessly, when we needed the most. Our teachers have truly personified that important care for the person. And it's not just our teachers. In order for us to care, our actions can never exist in a vacuum. The Jesuits have always exemplified this with the phrase ad maiorem Dei gloria, toward the greater glory of God. The reason this motto has always been compelling to me is because it represents more than a specific religious commitment. It describes the dedication of our time, our resources, and our efforts to something valuable and important, something we feel is worth caring about. That is the spirit that has led our Justice Summit. Our freshman and sophomore years, Bellarmine's Justice Summit tackled enormous global issues, such as poverty and climate change. Our junior and senior years, we have discussed the deeply complex social issues of race, gender, and sexuality. Facing problems such as these is, admittedly, difficult. Sometimes the answers to the questions that arise in these discussions cannot be a simple yes or a flat no. Not even, as Mr. Salgankar so eloquently puts it, yes and no. Even in these difficult situations, St. Ignatius' advice of discernment leads us in the right direction. Through introspection and an understanding of those things that we feel are valuable, that we care about, we can find a just way to act and to live. However, figuring out what we believe in, that's hard. Some people spend decades trying to figure that out. Luckily, for the past 4 years, we've all had something pretty stable to believe in. It can be summed up in two important and, as you're hopefully about to see, immensely powerful words. Go Bells! I remember walking onto this campus as a little freshman in 2015 and marveling at the magnitude of this place. And I can't blame any freshman for being amazed. Our robotics team has 4 world championship titles. Our speech and debate team forms people who would be willing to argue with you about your own name, and they still might win. Our sports teams, this year alone, have won CCS, WCAL, or other important titles in sports like cross-country, water polo, soccer, wrestling, golf, tennis, track and field, volleyball, and swimming and diving, where Max Saunders became the state champion in the 200 free. In our theater department, talented actors like David DeRuyter can portray murderous Scottish nobles in Shakespeare's Macbeth just as naturally as Shrek, a fictional green ogre whose very existence is one of those spicy, spicy memes. Truly, it is easy to find solace and value in this place. This place is worth believing in, worth caring about. But today we spend our last moments as students. And while that valiant battle cry of "Go Bells" will always be powerful no matter where we are, it may never be quite the same. The time has come for us to take that lesson that we've learned and apply it on our own. Apply it to the future. Philosopher and winner of the Nobel Prize in Literature, Albert Camus, wrote, "I have refused resignation my entire life, choosing what to me seems essential and holding fast to it. It seems to me that this is the kind of life we are called to live." My fellow Bells, our lives will take us in many different directions and to many different places, but we will all have the same foundation to build upon. Bellarmine has prepared us for a future worth believing in, a future worth caring about, a future that will live up to everything packed into those two powerful words. Go Bells!
Go Bells!